Good morning, 11th grade Steel Academy students. Excuse me, got a little tickle in my throat there. I think it's allergies. Who knows? I forgot to take my allergy pills the last couple days. But we're going to be looking at some 11th grade science today with the earth, water, and the atmosphere. So we're going to be working a little bit out of this book. You guys should have a copy of that from picking it up at the school. If you have any questions, once again, there's my email. Feel free to comment on the Facebook, on my YouTube videos, or shoot me an email if you have any questions. So, 11th graders, to start off this lesson, I always like to look at the review. So, to look at the review and see what we're looking to learn. Our vocabulary is going to look at weather, humidity, air pressure, visibility. So those are a couple important things. We'll make sure to cover those so we can fill this out and get this turned in, because that is the work. We're going to be looking at a couple different concepts too. How to measure weather, because we can't get good data unless we can measure it. You'll have to do some critical thinking up here and be able to identify and infer. This is the kind of stuff that you guys probably saw on the ACT, things like that. So we'll have to figure out a way to get all that done. So let's go to the start of the lesson. Lesson 1, Elements of Weather. So let's look. Pardon my cough again. Weather. Weather is the condition of Earth's atmosphere at a certain time and place. Different observations give you clues to the weather. If you see plants moving from side to side, you might infer that it is windy. If you see a gray sky and wet, shiny streets, you might decide to wear a raincoat. People talk about weather by describing factors such as temperature, humidity, precipitation, air pressure, wind, and visibility. So now, the first one we'll talk about is the temperature. They give a pretty, in my eyes, a pretty bad definition of temperature. Because in chemistry class, you'll learn temperature something else. But humans, have learned to define temperature as a measure of how hot or cold something is. Temperature is actually a measure of the vibrations of actual atoms. So atoms that are higher temperature, they vibrate more quickly. Or if it's a gas, the temperature of the air is actually the amount of collisions that the gas has on something. Complicated concepts. However, you'll learn more about them later. An instrument that measures and displays temperature is called a thermometer. A common type of thermometer uses a liquid, such as alcohol or mercury, to display the temperature. The liquid is sealed in a glass tube. When the air gets warmer, the liquid expands and rises in the tube. Cooler air causes the liquid to contract and fill less of the tube. A scale, often in Celsius or Fahrenheit, is marked on the glass tube. Another type of thermometer is an electrical thermometer. As the temperature becomes higher, electric current flow increases through the thermometer. The strength of the current is then translated into temperature readings. So you've probably seen one of these thermometers, like old school ones, whether in a science lab or maybe outside at one of your friends or relatives' houses. And then most cars nowadays actually have an electrical thermometer. So that's pretty cool. Now, humidity. This is one. Have you ever heard the saying, it's not the heat, it's the humidity? Well, down in Florida, that's why it's so sticky down there. Sorry, got a frog in my throat. But as vapor evaporates from oceans, lakes, and ponds, makes sense. Florida's got a swamp and it's got ocean on the right and the Gulf of Mexico to the left. It becomes water vapor, or a gas that is in the air. The amount of water vapor in the air is called humidity. As more water evaporates and becomes water vapor, the humidity of the air increases. So if you think about it, a desert is really hot, but it has low humidity. Humidity is often described through relative humidity. Relative humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air compared to the amount of water vapor needed to reach saturation. As shown below, when the air is saturated, the rates of evaporation and condensation are equal. Saturated air has a relative humidity of 100%. Once again, this is probably a number you guys have heard or seen before. A psychrometer, once again, psychrometer, Psychrometer, is an instrument that is used to measure relative humidity. Air can become saturated when evaporation adds water to the air. Air can also become saturated when it cools to its dew point. The dew point is the temperature at which more condensation than evaporation occurs. So dew point, if you guys, actually right now is a good time to look at the dew point, because the temperature can reach low enough at night that dew, or sometimes even frost, forms on the grass outside. Back in my day, when I was playing baseball a lot, we'd go to tournaments in the summer. There'd be so many teams there, you had to play real early or real late. So the temperature would drop near night. When the temperature dropped to a certain point, well, the grass started getting real wet because it got dewy. So when a ball got hit out there, outfielders, it was tougher for them to throw. So you'd always try to take the extra base, or at least force a throw to see if they made a mistake throwing. See, science can be important in everyday life, or sports more so, because I know a lot of you guys don't play baseball. But when air temperature drops below the dew point, condensation forms. This can cause dew on surfaces colder than the dew point. It can also form fog and clouds. So, if you're ever wondering how clouds, fog forms, it's all about the rate of condensation versus the rate of evaporation. One time back in school, I think it was my birthday in 8th grade. So March 16th. Oh gosh, this is really going to date me here. 2004. March 16th, 2004. We had a really, really foggy day. Like there was absolutely zero visibility. That's 16 years ago. So you guys were like just born. But with that day, it was so foggy, we actually got school called off. So in the morning, the temperature was low enough, high enough amount of water in the air that it formed really, really thick fog where it wasn't safe to drive. Well, by 10 a.m., it had warmed up enough that all the fog had gone away. When all the fog went away, it was a beautiful day. I was out riding my bike and stuff with some friends. We went and played some basketball. Got a Polar Pop down at Circle K. It was good times. Good times. Anyway, tomorrow we're going to go over a couple more things. Watching some clouds. some more air stuff. And we'll eventually get to our lesson review here. Hopefully on Thursday, right before you guys have your spring break. So, once again, thanks. If you see this posted, comment on it. We're kind of taking attendance. So we want to make sure you guys are doing work. Let us know you're doing the work. Reach out to us. If not, you might get calls from like 10 people in a day. I know you guys rather talk to your friends than us up at the school. Or if you just want to talk to us about some assignments, give us an email, give us a call up to school, and we'll call you back or email you back. So thank you guys once again. We'll continue from here tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great day.